When I walk in the door in the morning, I'm thinking about what do we need to do today to be great for kids?
In the end, you've just got to do what you have to do to take care of the needs of your students.
We get to be creative and we get to have fun with it as well.
Students learn differently and they have different interests.
At one end of the spectrum that had special needs because of their life circumstances, or on the other end of the spectrum, there were students that were terribly gifted. Charter schools responded to that.
Back in the mid-90s, there was a crisis, a dropout crisis. We talked, we sat at a table, those that were with me as we founded the Raul Izaguirre Schools for Success, we call RICE. We talked about the need to have a charter school that was going to work with the middle school students to make sure we created an environment for them that was small. Middle school is a very make or break age group, and that is really what drove us. We don't get as a charter any funding for a brand new school. We don't get those dollars. We at one point were even in a restaurant. I remember they cleared the restaurant out so that we could use the restaurant.
The business manager and myself needed to cut the budget during the summer, and so we both cleaned the buildings after school.
AMA as an organization in George I. Sanchez School District started because a need was not met on the Houston's East End, especially Latino kids. Tremendous amount of violence, tremendous amount of drugs, tremendous amount of education lacking. Our founders were a group of business people that got together to help these kids. That's how we started.
I started when we were at our first campus, and our whole campus was K through 12 in one space. We had all the same goal of serving these children as they should be served, with love and compassion, and the expectations that every child, no matter where they come from, should have a chance to be their best self.
Public charter schools promised to create more learning opportunities so that every child could succeed. They've delivered, starting with the pioneers of Generation 1.
We're about hope, and we serve that student who has found themselves that life has gotten in the way, and they find themselves overaged, undercredited, so they find their way to CAN. What brings me fulfillment is that we now get that child back to their dream.
We've really committed to IB for all, so all of our students are able to participate.
We have everything here. It's a one-stop shop because in the end, we want our students to focus on what's important, and that's learning.
Our mission is to provide students with an academically challenging classical liberal arts education that encourages them to develop a passion for learning and that gives them the means to become responsible citizens of virtuous character.
When we moved to the Houston area and discovered Aristoy Classical Academy, we knew that this would be the right place for us.
We met the needs of the community in Dallas, but we also met the needs of our kids because they got to see what, this amazing city has to offer.
We don't prejudge, so it's not about your current GPA or any of that. It's about, do you have the drive to try? If you can try, we'll honor that. We'll let you try.
Texas public charter schools have grown from serving 2,500 students in 1996 to 365,000 students today. The movement is a massive success. 2/3 of the state's top-rated districts are public charters, and 55,000 children are on waiting lists.
The community's gotten bigger, and that family atmosphere didn't go away.
Texas public charter schools also promise to increase student learning and help children reach their full potential. It's happening every day.
When Jalen was with us at Uplift Heights, he faced a lot of challenges at home and actually was homeless for a period of time during his high school experience. Jalen was one of those children that many might have written off and said, I'm not sure what's going to happen to him after he leaves an Uplift High School. But he has risen to the occasion and leveraged everything he learned at Uplift, has continued to keep in touch. He is thriving now in college and is a pre-med major and wants to be an emergency room doctor.
When I graduated Sanchez, it was 2004. I was the second child in my family to graduate at the time, and it was honestly very surreal. Being able to be accepted into a university such as UT Austin with a scholarship and with You know, the ability to get in the top 10% at the time really, really changed my life.
We had many students here, as we always do, volunteering, and it was a weekend. I think it was even a Sunday. And I asked them, why are you here on a Sunday? You know, because I really wanted to see what this young man was going to say to me. And he says, Dr. Tamés, I'm doing this because Tejano Center helped my family. And I want to give back. You know, I want to give back because my family struggled. Tejano Center and the school in Rice helped us. And if had you not done that, I don't know where I'd be, Dr. Tamés. I wouldn't be in school.
As Texas public charter schools grow, they make everyone better, including traditional ISDs. That's reflected by the data, but also by the collaborative spirit of our schools, starting with Generation 1.
I think we've made not only the education community better, I think we made the community better in general.
One of the outcomes that I've seen a greater focus on is on college outcomes, college readiness, and college access. Now you see traditional ISDs trying to replicate that programming as well.
If charter schools, open enrollment charter schools and ISDs would work collaboratively and do more of that, because it happens in some cases, but to really do a great job of connecting those dots, we would be so much stronger when it comes to public education. And I think this is, in my mind, this is the solution. Instead of saying it's here or there, why not it be together? Let's figure this out together.